today we'll be talking about the different features of a Cpanel. This is also part of this. Once you become a web developer, you have administrative rights to your website, to the website you will be creating. Before you transfer the rights to the owner or to the client, you will be managing the roles of that website as the web admin, and it is from the Cpanel that you actually find the functionalities of administering your website. So that is why today we are talking about the different features of a Cpanel. Cpanel, we said, is just the control software for your website, and it is from the Cpanel that you get the administrative rights. It is from the Cpanel that you get your administrative right. We say that once you purchase a domain, your Cpanel is always your domain. Is your domain name. Domain name /Cpanel. That is how you access your domain name. Alternatively, provided you have registered a domain and a hosting, you will receive a link that will take you directly to your Cpanel. But if you can't access that link, then you just use your domain name and you /Cpanel. So let's head straight to the Cpanel for Market It Agency, which is my domain name, then you /Cpanel. It will open a login window to your Cpanel, and we said that these login details are sent to you after you've purchased a domain and a hosting. After you've purchased a domain and a hosting, because these are subdomain, let me use the main domain. Let me use the domain, which is this one. My domain, my login details is yes, that is it. And remember, from here we said that it will open. It has got very many features. From here you can create different email addresses. We call them corporate emails. This Jetpack is just a plugin for managing the speed of your website and also for backups. As you can see, it manages your backup of your website. Billing and support is provided if you want to purchase a domain, not really a domain but a theme. Maybe you want to purchase a theme or a plugin or any other thing that for your website, then you can set your billing addresses from here, so that you will be just making electronic transfer. The files here is a very critical section of this Cpanel, because it is from this file section that whatever you see on your website is stored under file managers. The same way you have your file managers in maybe your mobile devices or even in your desktops and laptops. So for a web, all the files that are saved onto your server, you can access them from this file manager. This is where they are stored. This is where they are stored for the server to retrieve them from. The SEO and marketing tools, we say this one is not common to most cPanel, because some will not have the SEO and marketing tools, but this is just for an added functionality that helps you in marketing your website. It helps you in marketing your websites and also to increase your web traffic, simply because it has some search engine optimization tools from here. We have these come with inbuilt. It provided depends with your hosting companies. Like you can see, this one is Attractor. The tool here for search engine optimization is Attractor, but we have very many tools outside there that you can use to grow traffic onto your website. So this is just an inbuilt functionality that you can use to you just set up your website here, and then you shall have your market or your marketing needs, or rather your website traffic just grow from there, instead of installing other add-ons. Like we have different search engine optimization tools that you can use, but you can use the inbuilt one from cPanel. We also have the databases, and from the databases, I said this is where you manage all. If you're working on a data-driven website, and then this is from the databases is where you have your data bases stored, where you can have a PHP database, or you can have a MySQL database, or a Postgres. They are stored under databases. And then domains, we say this is where you can add subdomains. This is where you add subdomains. If depending on your hosting packages, some companies will allow you to host up to 5 different websites. Some will allow you to host up to only 1-2 websites on a single domain. So provided you have other domains, so you can simply add them here, so that they become subdomains. Here. So if your website or if your hosting plan allows you to add other websites onto it, so those other websites will be added as subdomains, and you add them from this section. The metrics, this is just a measure of how your website is performing, is performing on the web, how your website is performing on the web, the World Wide Web. This is how your website is performing on the World Wide Web. Well, thanks for joining. And then we have security. Is just for managing the security of your files or security of your website. And you say security, you have to always make sure that you are purchasing a domain and a hosting that has SSL and TSL enabled, TLS enabled, to manage your security of your. Then from software is where you can update or install different software for your website. And this is where we said the open source content management softwares, you can update them from here. If you are working on a website that is that was written or that was programmed using a Python, then you can use the Python version here to install it onto your cPanel. You can even if you created an app on a Ruby, you can host it from here. If you're creating a WordPress website, then you can use the inbuilt site builder, or you can use Softaculous. You can use Softaculous to install your WordPress. Preferences is just to manage the design of the cPanel, and also to manage your password, access point for the passwords, where we say that once you've purchased a domain and a hosting, once you've received the password, it is advisable that you change it to something you can remember, because those are just some random and unique numbers that you cannot actually memorize. So it is advisable that you change your password from the preference section. Sitepad website builder, we've just looked at it from software. These are where if you want to create your website from from the inbuilt site path builders. It is almost the same as WordPress, but it's only that it only accepts these already installed themes here. It comes with these installed themes. So it's just a drag and drop, builder that you can actually use the same as a WordPress. So once you've known all these other features, features for at the back, the features of a back panel, we'll just over Cpanel. We just now want to create to look how to create different emails. We call them corporate emails. Like we said, one you see somebody is like Kennedy at kcb.co.ke, or maybe HR at kcb.co.ke, something like that. So from the email section, of the back panel or your Cpanel, that is, just go to email accounts. Proceed to email accounts. Then from the email accounts, just on the far end, we have this create button. You can see I already have some emails here. But then because this is managing, you have a main domain, and you have some subdomains here, and all of them I've created emails for them. You can see we have 7 used. And remember, when we're talking about purchasing a domain, we said that you always have to look for this if it supports how many email accounts. We have those support up to 20 email accounts. Some support up to 15 email accounts. Some support unlimited. But always remember that the more email accounts you have, the less storage you will have. Because you're actually reducing the storage capacity in your server. So just move straight to create. It is always advised. You should just choose the domain you want to create. It's a webmail for, like I'm creating for Market It agency, so I can create one for maybe trainings, or let me say admin, or let me say customer service, customer support. You can see the extension is already there, customer support, then at marketagency.co.ke. So provided you've given the first name, or we call it the username, then you just create a password for it. Or you can generate a password. But I always advise you, if you're creating for a client, you just create a password for him or her. So here you can create a password, something that you can easily remember. Create a password, and you can see the password is just a minute. Yes, that's the password. Then you just click on to create, and you can see it is creating, and then there you go, account created successfully. So it is just as simple as that. You can create as many accounts depending on your hosting plan. How many accounts do it allow? If it allows 20, you can create as many as you can. If it allows unlimited, then you can create as many as you can. But remember, we said that the more email accounts you have, the less storage you are creating for yourself. Because all these emails will consume like 1 GB storage each. 1 GB storage. So if you have like 20 email accounts, that is 20 GB. Suppose you are hosting on a plan that is 50 GB. So you only have 30 GB left for your web files, for your website files. So it is advisable that you only create email accounts if it is necessary. The email accounts we've created is this one here, customer service at marketagency.co.ke. And from here you can now check mail or manage it. The manage section is just for you to change the password or delete it. If you want to delete the account, you go to manage. If you want to change its password, you go to to manage. Once you have your account, you can just move straight to check email. And I always advise that when you want to access your webmails, you use an app known as Roundcube. This one here, it is so far the best and reliable webmail service provider or open source webmail software. We have also this Horde, but I always advise you use Roundcube because it is very reliable, very reliable. So in this one we'll be using Roundcube, and then just open. I'll just click this so that whenever it opens, it takes me straight to my inbox. Open my inbox when I log in. You can see that. Then you now see my webmail loading. So this is now my webmail. The same way we have for other webmails like Gmail or even Yahoo. So this is the interface. You can see we have one for compose, for the mails. The mails now we have inbox, draft, sent, junk, all these settings. You can now set to change the interface, or maybe change some few ways you want it to appear. No, the Roundcube you don't purchase. The Roundcube you don't purchase. So from here you can see the interface. You can see the interface for your webmail. Just the same way you can manage, and you can see for this is just a configuration setup. Yes, you've created this email and all this information about the email. You can see where you can access it. This is now the link you can use to access this mail. So suppose you've created for a client, then you can send them this link, or maybe you can tell them to log in via Roundcube. Once you have this account, so you can create as many accounts as you want. Once you have this account, I now want us to create something known as how to manage these accounts now. Because remember, these accounts you always have to log on to your webmail. They are known as webmails. So you always have to log on to your Cpanel, then you go to webmail, or maybe you have to use Roundcube webmail. You can see this Roundcube webmail from here. But alternatively, you can still manage you can still manage the email without necessarily having to be connected like each and every time. And that is where we have these forwarders and the autoresponders. They assist you in managing your webmails. They assist you in managing your webmails. These two functions here, forwarders and autoresponders. The same way, just from their main word, forwarders is just something that is being forwarded. So this feature is just to help you that maybe these mails the mail that is being received in this mailbox should be forwarded to maybe one of your particular Gmail account, or maybe Yahoo account, or that email account that you can access easily. So from there, from forwarders, you can add a forwarder. And then here you just select which account do you want to add a forwarder to. Address to forward is just the email account that you want its email content to be forwarded. And the one we've just created is customer support at marketitagency.co.ke. Then where do you want it to go? We want it to go to maybe my email account. My email account will use this one. So this is just to mean that whatever email that will be sent to this mailbox, customer support at marketitagency.co, it will be copied. Forwarded means it will just be copied to this email here. This email that we are setting here. So it does not necessarily mean that I will have to check my webmail, but then I shall be notified from from my personal email account that an email has arrived onto this webmail. So it is it's upon me to go and decide whether I want to make a formal reply, or just the normal auto-response will do. Once you've set this, then you just add the forwarder. So we have this customer support at market. It will now be copied to this, and we'll try this one. Want to try it practically. We want to try it practically. So I want to create an email. Just let me create an email using one of these accounts. Let me use this training, Cpanel. Yeah, then let me compose. So I'm now sending this one to customer service at marketit agency.co.ke. Let us just write test. Check this mail. The moment I send, you can see message sent successfully. Then I go to my mailbox. This customer support. Let me check my mailbox from here. As it still loads, let me also check my Gmail account, Gmail box. Let me check my Gmail box. I hope we wrote the right email address. The right email address. Should check email again. Once you're in email, you can still confirm sent. Let me see if it is delivered. Let me open this as we see if it is delivered. Hey, check this mail. Customer service. Oh, I wrote the wrong email address. It should be customer support. There we go. Let me create another one. Customer support. Customer support at marketit agency.co.ke. Yes, customer support. I think I have the right. Let me just copy it from here. So that I don't struggle. Customer support at marketit agency.co.ke. Yeah, we got it now. Then we have test. Check this. Regards. Now the moment you send, so I should be able to receive this one in first, this email box, customer support at marketitagency.co.ke, and again that same email should be sent to my email box that we created, the forwarded box that we created. Let me open this mailbox now. Let me open my network is failing. Now you can see, now we have it, test. You can see the mail is here, test. Check this mail. So when I go to my folder, I should be able to see the same mail here. And you can see it here, trainings. You can see 2. It was sent to customer support, but now it has come from training@marketeragency.co.ke. So that is how you, so once you whatever is received in your mailbox can be forwarded to your personal email. So you have the discretion to either reply it, or maybe just use the autoresponder, or maybe use the autoresponder. Now if you want to reply to this, it is advisable that you don't reply from this personal email, but you now log on to your webmail, then you reply onto the email. You reply onto the email. But again, this feature helps you in getting updates or getting notified on whatever email that has arrived onto your webmail. Whatever email that has arrived onto your webmail. So that is how we set forwarders. That is how we set forwarders. Now I want us to create an auto-response. You've created a forwarder. An email has been sent to your webmail. It has been copied onto your personal email account. You received the notice. You've checked it, but now you don't want to give a response, or you don't want to log on to your webmail and give a response. So what do? You just set up an auto response. You can set up an auto response that immediately a mail is received onto my webmail, then send such an email. I have to confirm. Maybe you've actually come across some of these auto response. Maybe you've sent an email to an HR department, and then they tell you that we are receiving like thousands of applications. But if you don't receive, if you don't hear from us in maybe in 2 weeks' time, then consider your application not successful. Something like that. Something like that is like an auto response. So just move to auto response. Then you add an auto responder. So which interval is just the difference in timing you will want it to be delivered. Maybe you can create 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. But if you don't want it to take that long, you just write 0 hours, so that it will be sent immediately. Just write 0 hours. Then from which email box do you want to create an autoresponder? We say we have customer support. Customer support at Market Agency. Customer support at marketeragency.co.ke. From, you can decide, is it from the admin, is it from the HR, is it from the customer service, is it from the IT section, is it from the service department? So you can decide from here. You can write, or do you want to write your name? You can write, yes, it is from, maybe you write it is from customer service or customer support. Customer support, and then your subject line will be, you can either write do not reply, or you can write auto response, or maybe depending on whatever type of information you want to relay, or you can just say auto response, or maybe do not reply. It is always do not reply is very common, so you can use do not reply, so that it acts as the subject line, so the receiver of the mail can actually tell that this is an auto response, an auto-generated response. So you can just write like something like, thanks for your inquiry. One of our team members will respond to you shortly. Thank you for your inquiry. One of our team members will respond to you shortly. Yeah, then you just create. And you can see the auto response is created successfully. Now I want us to test our auto response. I want us to test our autorespons. I want us to write an email from one of these email accounts. One of these email accounts, let me use this info. So an email we are going to send should do like two things. One, it should copy to this email account. It should copy it here because we created a folder. And two, it should now respond. It should now respond. It should send an autorespond to the email account that has sent the mail. So let us just compose one email from here. And this one we are composing it to customer service, market it agency.co.ke. Then the subject can be something like customer service. Let me say web design service, web design quotation. Kindly issue me with a quotation for a 5-page website on fashion. A 5-page website for my fashion brand. Yes, let's say we have something like that, then we just send. And there it is, message sent successfully. You can see already we have an auto-response because we created the timing to immediately. We created it to 0. And you already see do not reply here. Immediately it was sent successfully, then auto-response is generated. So we can see, thank you for your inquiry. One of our team members will respond to you shortly. Then if I go to my mailbox, you can see I already have this forwarded here. I have this one. Kindly issue me with a quotation for a 5-page website for fashion brand. So that is basically how you can manage a webmail using those two functionalities. Those are the major functionalities or the major features you can use for your webmail. Creating an auto-response, and again creating a forwarder email. It becomes very easy so that you don't have to log on to your webmail each and every time to check mails. So that is basically what you need to know when it comes to email accounts. These email marketings will require some different tools. Email marketing will require some different tools. Email deliverability is just the same way, just from the word deliver, just to trace how if the mails that you sent were delivered 100% or to what extent in terms of percentage. Email marketing these are just will take you back to some tools that you can use to do email marketing for your websites. Maybe you want to create leads for your websites. Maybe you want to send promotion in terms of in form of emails, so you can use email marketing. But then these tools, you can see this one is linked to something. This one is called Constant Contact. That is just a different website that you can use. But then from here you will find that these guys, they have packages. But when it comes to email marketing, if you want to market your websites or you want to market some of your products or services using email marketing, you can use other tools. We have quite a lot. We have ConvertKit, we have HubSpot, you can use MailChimp, just to mention but a few. But then that is if that is now in digital marketing. If you have skills on digital marketing, then you will have to employ that. So from email deliverability, that's from the way it is. This just shows you how many emails is delivered or are delivered and how many are pending. or how many are not delivered. You can see now this is just a show of what a domain and a subdomain are. You can see here my main domain is this one, and then these are now subdomains, which we said you only add them under domains in your cPanel. You add them under domains from your cPanel. Here is where you can add the different websites, that is the different websites you have onto one single hosting. So basically that is what I wanted us to cover today: how to manage these emails, how to manage your emails, your webmails, that is using from the cPanel, how to manage your webmails from the cPanel. And remember I said that this cPanel, whatever the features we're gonna be using mostly is the email part, and then the Softaculars, or maybe the site part website builder, because these other ones are just to manage whatever we'll be doing. Either from Softaculars will be affecting these files here. These files are just the different web files you have, or those you view when you visit your website. This is where they are stored. You can see I have a folder here for Marketing Agency. So this folder here contains all the web files for, and you can see all these are the web files for Marketing Agency. So if you open Marketing Agency, or if you load Marketing Agency from here, whatever you see here are just these particular files and folders. This is what is now loaded, and then you receive something like this. It is now the server that will read all this. It will read all this and then make them sensible to whoever is visiting that site from here. So that is how you manage files, or maybe you manage emails and other things from the backend. I don't know if you have any question. We'll stop at that point, and we'll have this. You will have this recording, because I know you came when I started. I'll share these recordings with you. So let me see if you have questions.